you can find the use for the technology to link you with your homeland.
I'm telling you, it no matter anywhere in the world you are, we can bring you right in
Absolutely.
and get you to talk to the people. Faye Ellington, who has wearing so many hats, boy, it's hard to track you down, you know.
It's not that hard, man. I
I hope
just
you put your phone on silent because I did.
well, I don't know what certain the landline will do, but I have it nearby to deal with it the moment that happens.
Okay. Well,
On the
people would like
mobile,
to know.
it's on silent.
Yes, yes. People would, know Faye Ellington for so many years on radio and stage as an educator. Where is Faye Ellington from in Jamaica and how did she get started in all of this?
Let me deal with where I'm from first because that is very dear to my heart. My mother still lives there. I was there last week, Saturday. That means I go back to my roots fairly regularly because I need to and because I want to.
Hmm.
It's a district called Smithville in the hills of Clarendon. If you come to Four Paths and then you go up through Shekels and then go up through places like Goshen and Moko, then yes, Moko, you hear me.
Yes,
You
I'm.
can pass through and Thompson Town. And going along that main road from Thompson Town, it is 3 miles. And if you should continue after Smithville, then you go to a place like Nine Turns,
Hmm.
and then you go down the hill to Frankfield. So I am 14 miles. Smithville is 14 miles from Four Paths, going up through the Moko Mountains, and 7 miles from Frankfield, going down on the other
The
side.
real country.
I was born there. Yeah, man.
Yes.
I may still go home and go a bush with my crocus bag and all them kind of something.
Barefoot
Um,
too?
eh?
Barefoot?
I was born there. Yeah, well, I didn't do a lot of barefooting, but I did some of it. But I was born there. I grew up there in a poor home, but poor in material things, but very rich in great value. So I
Right.
suppose a lot of who I am today is as a result of the values instilled in me by my mother and
Right.
my grandmother. Those were the two parents I knew. And my cousin Errol Williams, who now lives in New York with his family, 4 years older than I am. That was our home and our household. Although we did not have material things and we live in a board house and when rain or fall it leak and that kind of thing.
Are you
It
going to the
was a
bed?
very yeah man when I bed and go on the cellar, you go
I'm
on the
going to the
cellar to
cellar.
chuck up egg before yeah,
Exactly.
man, you have to go and cellar. The pole go way up under the cellar. You have to go like me little bit now, make up way up thing.
Hmm.
But I was exposed to some things, this is dreaming,
Hmm.
that I think were very rich to see. One of them was music. Anybody who knows me know I have a great appreciation for music. People
Right.
also know that I like to dance. In my home in the hills of Clarendon, I grew up with an organ in our home. My mother played the organ.
Like the church organ?
Not as big as a church organ, but an organ.
Okay.
Suppose it could be played in a church if needs be in a small
Yeah,
church.
yeah, yeah.
And so my mother played the organ. She played both by ear and by reading music. And by the time I came into the world, my grandmother had converted to becoming an Adventist. And so on a Friday evening,
Hmm.
we would meet and worship in the hall, as we called it. You'd call it drawing
Okay.
room or living room. Very small place, We look back then, we say, my God, it's small, small. I'm sitting in my little study here too, and the hall was smaller than this, I believe. Anyway, and so music became an integral part of my life. My grandmother sang like a bird. My mother played the organ. Her brothers and some of their friends, like Lasses Brian, I spoke with him when I was coming back from country on Saturday. They made and played their own guitars and banjos. I wanted to hear them just say
Yep. I
played,
made it. They actually
made
did
and
it.
played.
What?
And yes, and they're like their bamboo fife and all of that.
Hmm.
And I myself and Errol we played the comb. I don't know how many people know the comb you used to comb your hair.
Yes.
You put yeah man, you put paper over it, and you blow through that, and it makes a beautiful instrument.
Oh, yeah, we used to do that when I was going. Why not, man? Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I
and
remember.
my mother also plays what you call the mouth organ, the harmonica, very, very well. So every Friday and Saturday, it was a lot of music in our home, and with of course mainly hymns, but not only hymns.
Hmm.
Things like tie yellow ribbon around the old oak tree and those things
Oh, yes.
were played regularly in our home in addition to him. So that was a very enriching environment, even though we were poor.
Mm-hmm.
Poor in material things, but rich in a pile of other things. So
Right.
on a day like today, Saturday, being Adventist, because my grandmother had convert. I'm not a practicing Adventist, but there are many things about the way they carry and live their lives that I still do. Like I've never had pork in my life. They have
Okay.
a like diet, I believe. Adventists also understand the power of music. So if you go to an Adventist church, their music ministry is always powerful.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, it's not just noise. People know how to sing and they know to train themselves and play instruments and all of that. And there was something else that used to happen because we're way up in the hills, Jimmy. We never had an Adventist church nearby.
Mm-hmm.
So we worship at home. And people would come from time to time to our home to join us for worship on a
Okay.
Saturday.
Okay.
And I'm going to share something with you. And I'm so glad that I had a grandmother and a mother like I have. My mother is still alive. My grandmother died.
Mm-hmm.
Beg your pardon. There was a couple that would visit with us regularly, maybe every once a month, once a quarter. I don't remember. I was 5 or 6. And these people were lepers.
Really?
They had had leprosy. But my mother and my grandmother were so well informed, hear what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
that they knew that those people could have sat at our dining table with us and
Mm-hmm.
it would not have infected us
Right.
because they were well informed, well read to know that it had passed that stage. I
Right.
remember their names now. And so I say that to say this. A lot of who I am now is as a result of how my mother and my grandmother raised me. And so I know 20 or so years ago when the whole AIDS epidemic came, HIV AIDS, I was one of the first persons to be involved in workshops to interact and with HIV AIDS people. There was a woman called Dr. Pat Burke, a medical doctor, who ran what was known as the Family Center at the University of the West Indies, and she involved me, and I got involved. And so yes, in the early stages, they wondered about this thing, but very soon after, I could hug people who are HIV positive, and you recognize, you learned about the thing, and you know what would affect you and what would not affect you, and it wouldn't affect you just so.
Right.
So I thought I'm still very heavy into volunteerism. I learned that from my mother. Which part me come from? My mother was secretary for the JAS, Jamaica Agricultural Society, for the district,
Right.
for the community, secretary for coffee growers, secretary for cocoa growers, so secretary for citrus growers. And so, really some things can happen to you in life and you don't even realize how they are preparing you. I have had a life in communication, in public speaking, in
Right.
media.
Mm-hmm.
And it is right there with my mother because when she used to write up the ledgers, she used to have me read out the names. And I look back of
Mm-hmm.
all of these people and some strange names to me as a child of 5 and say, Ezekiel so and so, Alfonso so and so, Adolfo so and so. And
Mm-hmm.
I was clearly getting practice to one, pronounce those words, and two, to
Three.
project,
Right.
articulate.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother, of course, she was very firm about certain things. So I was learning under that firm love about
Right.
projecting and speaking clearly, and I didn't realize that it was preparing me for who I am now. But everything prepares you as you go along for who you are. But you just never know where you're going to end up.
I just said there's no coincidence in life.
There are no
Everything has a
coincidences.
purpose.
On. Yeah, I said that to somebody. I said to my son this morning, something happened, something good happened to him, facilitated by another human being who had met him maybe 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago. And I said to him, look at that. There are no coincidences. There is a master planner.
Exactly.
There is God.
Exactly.
And all of these things that happen along the way, you don't know how it's going to turn out.
Mm-hmm. That is
But 10 years hence, somebody he met just casually in passing, that person was able to influence a very important decision to affect him this morning.
wow. How many children you have?
One,
Oh,
one. My personality couldn't have one picnic. Yeah.
you are so right.
No, sir. My person and my workload. And secondly, I didn't have children like 20 and 25. I had my son at 29.
Oh,
29. So I had established my career in media and
right.
in theater first and then media. And that very clear in terms of what I wanted to do. And
Mhm.
I had told myself if I did not have another child by 35, I wouldn't bother it anymore. And
Right.
it was. And truth be told, I don't think I could have managed another child. I mean, if it were given, then I would have to find a way. But when you look at my lifestyle and the many different things I do, I'm not only in radio and television. I have not only been involved in stage. I'm not only a teacher in media and communication at the University of the West Indies, but I have served for a little over 20 years on several boards. At this
Wow.
point in time, I serve on 6 or 7 boards. There was a time when I was serving on 10 boards. And if you do your job as a member of a board well, it takes a lot of time. I
Yeah.
don't sit on a board, I serve on a board. And
What's the
invariably,
difference?
when I'm appointed,
What's the difference?
people who sit up on a board don't do nothing. They're not doing nothing when
Okay.
you sit down.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Then
So
like we depend on some board and depend on. No, you must serve.
sure. Okay.
And
Okay.
being on a board, another thing that people don't know, you're not paid to be on a board. You may, not in all circumstances, get
Mm,
a stipend because you're not an executive chairman.
right.
That's right. So you might get a stipend, which is like a $2,000 something or 3,000, 4,000, depending on over the years.
That's
And
money.
yeah, and so a lot of people don't understand that thing of service. But I grew up in my home. Again, I go back to my grandmother and my mother. The importance of service service,
Volunteering. Yes.
volunteerism. The
Volunteering.
world cannot happen without it, really. It cannot happen
That's
without
true.
it.
That's true.
That's
That's true.
it, you know.
And a lot of people take things for granted. You can't do that.
Can't do that at all. And then, I came to Kingston when I was 9 plus. Not because my mother moved, but because, so technically speaking, I've been on my own since I'm 9 plus. On my own, meaning leaving my family, so my
Right.
mother and my sister, because of asthma. I developed asthma as a child, and where we lived was way in the hills and then down in the valley. And so it was very cold, especially November, December, January, February, and the rainy periods of then May and
Right.
October.
Right.
So the doctors thought I should come to Kingston or go somewhere where the temperature was warm, and I ended up in Kingston.
Mm-hmm.
So had I remained in Clarendon, I'd have gone to either Frankfield Comprehensive, Edwin Allen is called now, it has been called, Clarendon College or Glenmuir High. But because I came to Kingston, I went to St. Hugh's High School, and that was a wonderful experience.
Okay.
I think I was nurtured in such a way, not just academically, that was the purpose of the school, but I found an outlet for the music. I was part of the choir at St. Hugh's, even did recordings. We did
Wow.
a 45 and we did a long playing record with the late Archie Lewis. Do you remember that man, Archie
Absolutely.
Lewis?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes, he featured albums in Hughes High School. So as part of the choir, I was part of the orchestra, and just a while I'll tell you what instruments I played. I was part of the debating society at St. Hughes and rose to be its president, and as part of the drama society. If you really pay attention, you see that everything is linked up with
Exactly.
some form of communication.
Especially with that debating.
No, to my
You beat up everybody with that.
Mhm, mhm. I thought at one point that I would have done law, but I'm so happy I didn't. Mark you, I would have been far more wealthy, and perhaps I would not be speaking to you
I'm
at
telling.
all.
I'm
But
telling.
but I think having done rather than law, I ended up in theater, and
Mm.
I quite like the fact, even though theater doesn't pay, it's not like Hollywood, eh? It's not
Right.
like that.
Right.
But have shows that, and I have had some really wonderful roles that I have been given the opportunity to interpret and characterize, and have had really very good reviews. I started out in theater 1970, 71, so I would be, what is it now, 42 years in theater.
Oh, yeah.
42 years in theater. I joined JBC in 1974, so this year would make it 39 years in media.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, so the instruments now I played, and if you have a laugh, dreamy, I'm going to just jump through the web and walk you. The instruments I played in the orchestra were the recorder and the triangle. And I was at St. Hugh's. I serve on the board of my alma mater, St. Hugh's High School. I'm a member, and I've been a board member for a number of terms now. And I was there during this past week, went down to give a motivational talk to what we would call the fifth formers. They are now grade 11ers. And I was telling them that I played the triangle. And of course, everybody laughed. So or not everybody, most. I said, well, let me tell you about an orchestra. Every instrument in an orchestra matters.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
there are no small, like in theater, they'll tell you there are no small parts, only small actors.
Okay.
So we'll give somebody a lead role in a play,
Mm-hmm.
and They do it well and all of that, but somebody could get one line or no line at all.
And
All they
get
have
the
to do is
star.
to walk in at a particular time and exit, don't say a word. And
Mhm.
when you come out of that theater, you don't remember the lead player. You just remember that thing
Yes,
that happened,
that's true.
how it was done.
That's true. That's
So
true.
there are no small parts, only small actors. So these
Okay.
are some of the things that have driven me in life in everything I do. Even though these are things related to media or theater, they have also informed how I have lived the other things I do in
Mhm.
life, how I've lived and executed my life.
Okay. Okay. And your life is very, very busy, you know.
Yes, it is. It is. I went to bed. I'm working on a project for that I'm the lead on at the University of the West Indies at the Caribbean Institute of Media and Communication. This is year 5, where it was my idea, but very well supported by the other members of staff, where we expose all our final year students to what is known as a business luncheon, a formal business luncheon. So they get the opportunity to sit in a formal setting, everybody, and dine, plated service, not buffet. Because you see, when you go out into the world of work, after you've done media and communication, which includes PR and journalism and all of that, you never know where you'll end up.
That's true, you
Right?
know. That's
And
true.
people judge you based on these things. And so, uh, you have to go to a prayer breakfast, a national prayer breakfast, and cover that. You're going to sit and dine. You have to go to a business luncheon, or you have to go to an awards function that you're covering. So you have to be comfortable. And we all are at different levels in terms of how comfortable we are with our dining etiquette and our social graces.
Hmm.
And also, we are living in a global village. You're not just being employed in Dominica or Jamaica or Trinidad and Tobago because the Carmack serves the Caribbean,
Hmm.
but you could be employed in China, or some great luck could befall you because you have done very well and you end up at CNN or BBC or wherever, Nigeria. It doesn't matter where. You need to be able to fit in these circumstances and be comfortable.
Do you
Uh,
speak the language?
I did some French at school, did some Latin as well. And
Okay.
what you don't use, you lose. So, je parle français un peu. I
Okay.
speak it a little bit.
You can
but
get by.
and then I speak Jamaican. So
Oh,
me can
wow. Yeah.
Lord me put a hat me and say, Lord Almighty,
Take off your shoes, man.
me near bite me as my mother would have said when the arthritis get me. And she said, Lord, me near bites me. Whoa. And there is no language like the Jamaican language to express how you feel or
I'm
what.
telling you. I'm telling you. This is where we are emulated all over the world.
That is why that VW commercial for Super Bowl is so powerful. Have you seen it?
Oh, I just did a special on it at 2 o'clock and showing the different aspect of it and how people are reacting to it.
Let me tell you something. Jamaica and the Jamaica Tourist Board could never pay for the publicity
Never.
that we have got through
Ex-
that commercial. Then you have to ask yourself a number of questions. Why, of all the people, all the cultures, all the accents, all the languages, did VW choose Jamaica?
Jamaica. Exactly.
We are a brand and we don't understand the power of our brand.
Exactly.
Or language is a very important part. Any language is a part of culture, and it's a part. Listen to that. So you listen to the IRIE, and you listen to I, and chill. So it is not just Rasta, but it's also popular talk, street talk. That's
Right.
in
Yes, boss man.
yes, boss man. You understand? And the VW, as we know, used to be a popular car in Jamaica
Oh,
before
yes.
the Japanese brands came in and kind of covered the blanketed the place.
Right. That's true.
But VW, yeah, my cousin, that same cousin I was telling you about, Errol, used to have this VW man.
Yeah, one of our DJs, as is a president of the VW club in Jamaica, Jaja
Yeah,
Foster. Is
there you go. There you go. And I think Jimmy Cliff, who is an instantly recognized international icon, for them to have teamed up with him is also powerful.
exactly, and they
And,
chose the
and
right person. They
yes,
chose the
he
right person.
also used to have a VW van, if my memory serves me right. So
Okay.
this ad, this commercial for the Super Bowl, it has had so much publicity, so much coverage, and because of it, Jamaica has had so much being said about it in this past week.
You know,
That
Faye, I just checked the website. It's 5.5 million hits it has had so far on YouTube.
The YouTube website.
Yes, the ad,
Yeah,
5.5 million.
that's right.
You know, they don't even need to run it in Super Bowl because the whole world knows about it.
Yeah, the only thing they should be worried about now is can they meet demand?
Exactly.
Because if
Exactly.
everybody is so influenced to go buy a VW, to go
And
buy a
you know,
boat,
when they buy them video, but the first thing them going to say is IRIE man.
Iron Man. Yes, and chill. Yeah. So everybody, if they, no, seriously, they have to think now. I have that in a course I taught this past week on culture. We just use that. I use that as a VW a discussion as a point of departure. We looked at all the implications, and then I said, what would the downside of VW? And I posited that if it is that demand that they have such a large demand and they can't meet it, then that could be a downside. Or if while they are meeting this demand, they then become substandard. Things
Exactly.
that are not properly done, that could also be a problem. But I mean, when you think of Benz is a German brand, right?
Mm.
They have their own target market. This is not about Benz. This is not about BMW. This is about VW, the car that the average person would want,
Would
the
make you
average
smile.
spender that will make you smile. They have a nice new shape, and oh man, it's such a powerful piece of
It's a powerful.
advertising for Jamaica. I mean, VW didn't do it for Jamaica, no, they did it for VW, but they
Exactly.
use it Jamaican culture, and it is quite a spin-off for us.
Out of so many thousands of culture around the world, they choose to,
Mhm.
and
Amazing. And you see,
but
you have to ask yourself, we've had the power of our music for many years, the power of sports through our athletics. And when the Reggae Boys were on top, doing very well,
Mhm.
leading into 98, the power of cricket when our cricketers were on top. So sports and music. And of course, the language. You will hear some Japanese young people speaking Jamaican, and they speak it better than they do English.
Oh yeah, that's
Let me
true.
share something with you. A group of Japanese dancers came to Jamaica, and during Independence period last year, they danced the popular dancing, and they won. Not the Jamaican group, but the Japanese dancers with
Yeah,
the dancehall kind of movement.
dancehall queen and all of that.
Amazing,
But it's not only that,
amazing.
but also the food because Campbell's has a
Oh,
jamming jerk soup.
there you go. I was about to say the other thing is our cuisine.
Yep,
So long ago, it was just Blue Mountain coffee, but jerk has taken over in a very big way.
very big way.
And there are many people who are poaching on the term Jamaica and jerk, and really infringing our intellectual property. And that's another matter
That is
because they
true.
will speak about Blue Mountain coffee, and it really don't come from Jamaica,
That's
or
right.
they speak about jerk that has nothing to do with Jamaica. So those are some other implications, the intellectual property infringement and dishonesty that takes place because people want to be aligned with Jamaica and
Exactly.
things Jamaican.
And I think it has passed
Amazing.
us because reggae is no longer. You wonder what reggae is now. It's not. But it's a reggae. It's not Jamaican because people have captured it. Now them gone with the jerk. What else? we,
That's a
the-
good point, you know.
we need to harness what we have, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and hold on to it.
Well, the cultural industries or the creative industries, that is where a number of us have been speaking. We've been speaking about it for a number of years. Rather than looking at the regular sectors for growth in the economy, we
Mhm.
really need to look at and foster our creative industries. And that will include cuisine, sports, the very popular culture, traditional culture, all of that. But you see, I also blame the financiers and bankers because those persons who are in finance and banking sometimes don't understand the value of culture. They think it is just industrialization or it is manufacturing and production as they know it. But there's also production coming out of culture.
Yes, that is true, and we have to harness this,
Hmm.
because if we will lose it, just like how Trinidad lost the patent to the steel band. The
Well,
steel-
I didn't they? I think they fought and fought and fought. Did they eventually lose it?
I I think they did. I really haven't heard anything
To be
yet. I have
honest
to
with
check into
you,
that.
I need to relook because this happened a few years ago. I remember
Yes,
when it was being debated. But
yes,
we have to be very, very careful. We have to be very, very careful
yeah.
about.
Because I was talking to Charles Campbell a couple of weeks ago, and he said that
Mm,
we can no longer patent reggae because it's like it's gone through the gate already.
Well,
You know, so it's no longer there. But we have our jerk chicken, we have our jerk pork, we have our jerk. I just say
well,
it is
you
it
have
work.
the jerk seasoning, and when we think about jerk and how popular it is now, we have to remember how Boston in Portland put jerk on the map. That's where it
Exactly,
really started.
exactly.
Boston, Portland,
Hmm.
just outside of Manchester there.
Ah, boy. I'm telling you, we have to do something. And I say, you are there to do it. You're very
I'm doing
outspoken.
as I'm doing as much as I can. I think what we need to do though is to have an awakening of what we can do that is different. We are
But
here
do you
concerned
think,
and at
okay,
the International Monetary Fund, but we also have to think of other ways outside of and in addition to the IMF.
do you think the people in Jamaica should do it, or the government should do it, or the private sector? Who you?
It has to be a combination. It can't be one.
Okay.
Government alone can. You have to have public-private sector partnerships and the people, the private sector, and the
And the government.
government.
And the
It can,
government.
yes, it can't be because the government should ensure that the environment is there, right? It
You
has
think
to be public-private sector partnership. The government and the private sector and the people have to start thinking outside of the box, and we also have to inform ourselves and educate ourselves about what are the new opportunities for the 21st century.
yeah, because there's things change so fast. Do you think we could work together on this?
I'm hopeful. I'm not one of those people who believe it will never happen or it can never happen, but I also know that it might be difficult to happen. You have to get some kind of leader or leaders who will find a way to sell and share what it is that we need to do and how we need to do it to go forward and to come out of the difficult spot that we found ourselves in.
Right, for the benefit of Jamaica, not for the
Yeah.
benefit of their own pocket.
No, no, no. We're
Okay.
talking
For the
Jamaica,
benefit
but
of
at the same
Jamaica.
time, the benefit you have people have to live as well, right?
Yes,
So the benefit is for the larger good, but while you're looking about the larger good, then you also have to live.
of course,
Yeah.
of course.
So that's why I say you have to have this public-private sector partnership, and people have to be involved. There may have to be some sacrifices in the early stages, like with anything, but you have to look down the road and plot and plan how you go reach your goals down the road. What are the goals you want to achieve?
I know that you are very good at that, and you might you might have to start it.
Ano pang might, na para put the burden from the myself.
Oh God. But you're looking at this as an educator, the young people growing up today. How are you helping them? Because I know you are very particular in what you do. What is your advice to the young people of today? Growing up here in Jamaica.
Also, as the government or the administrations, whoever forms it, I believe the time is ripe for the administration to look at what are the 10 most needed careers or professions,
Hmm.
and then through the schools, encourage our students or young people to pursue those professions. There's no point. Everybody wants to be a lawyer or a doctor, or whatever it is, and then the place is saturated and you can't find an employment.
Hmm.
So whether it's the top 10 or the top five, and the Minister of Education, I quite like the direction in which he has been going, and that is Minister Ronald Waite. And but we have to get to that what is it that this country needs? Is it engineers we need? Or if it's engineers, what kind of engineers? Is it electrical engineers or civil engineers
Right.
or what?
True, sure.
You see, and then look at how you want to build the country. And then when you see where you want to be in 5 or 10 years, then you know what professions and careers you need to nurture and encourage people to pursue.
Right. That's true.
Right. The other thing is young people across the world, not only Jamaica, have to understand a number of things. One of them is it is difficult for you to find employment. You may have to create your
Great.
own employment,
Exactly. You have to create it.
right? You have to create, and with the technologies, look at how we are sitting here talking today. You have to be able to not just use the technology for entertainment purposes, which is to talk on Facebook to your friend them or watch a thing on YouTube, but how can you add a value to the technology for it to make your life something worthwhile?
Look how
How
just like what you did when we spoke on Thursday, you immediately saw the value of this.
That's of
For your
the use of
students.
technology Zoom for the
Yeah.
student. Exactly, exactly. If you notice, I said my students,
Yes.
my students. And so as I got off the phone with you, I called. There's a student who is doing his master's now, who is an assistant like, from Trinidad, who is, very, very, like, I call him one of my Jamaican sons. The moment I got off, I called and said, Stefan, do you know about this thing? Because I find that at my stage and age, a lot of people are a little surprised that I'm so au fait, or to the extent to which I'm au fait with technology.
Mhm.
But two things. If you don't stay on top of it, you're going to be left behind terribly.
Exactly.
That's one. You
Exactly.
also, because I interact with young people, because I teach, and that is such a blessing, then that circumstance forces you to stay on top of it. I mean, this last semester at the university, I was the only person I believe in my department at Carmel who I put up all my assignments, audio, all my assignments on what we have a system like, which is a part of Moodle called our daily online, and
Mhm.
the students had to submit all their audio file assignments online, whether it was reading the news package or doing an interview, all of that. And then I'd mark online and put their comments online.
Okay. Okay. So you don't have to be physically there, you know?
But it's not just a matter about being physically there. No, you don't have to be there to mark, but you don't have to have reams and reams of paper.
Paperwork.
Paper. You're doing the work, but the paper. So you're also being very cognizant and aware of environmental issues.
Right.
The
That's
less
true.
paper you use, the less trees have to be cut down.
That's true. That's true.
Right. So that is where it's at. You still have to put in. I believe I put in even more work this way. More work this way. But at the same time, you have to stay on top of it with the technology, and if you don't, there's going to become a time in my life when I won't, because that's how life is. There's, after a while, whether it is when I'm 90 or 100, you, by the way, don't laugh, my neighbor is 100 years, she'll be 100 years old next, when is it? February 6th on Wednesday.
Wow.
She
That's
was born on the same day
Bob
Marley.
Marley.
She
Yeah.
has all her faculties. Her name is Muriel Amiel. My neighbor has all her faculties about her,
Wow.
reads the newspaper every day. And when I come in from work, I hear a message on my phone, darling, look at page A5 in the Gleaner and read so and so and so. Yeah, man,
Wow. Man.
amazing.
She's blessed, man.
I'm
She's
going to be
blessed.
MC. Yeah, she's best. All her family from all over the world, they've started coming in from this past week. And I'm going to be the MC at her 100th birthday party, which will
Wow.
be, although the birthday is on, I think the function is on
Saturday.
Saturday coming.
Saturday. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Mute. We call her Auntie Mute.
okay. Very nice.
Yeah. I
Very.
also believe it's important how you deal with people. The young people and old people, how you interact with them will also be a blessing to you as a human being.
That's my two favorite people, young people and old people. Anybody
Well,
between them and
you
them.
and I better get favorite with the old people because we are getting there.
You never dream of that, eh?
uh, well, I don't know about you, no, but I was prepared. I know that life comes in stages and phases. So I knew that at one point something like this was going to happen.
But you're not reached nowhere yet, Faith. Trust me.
Try your best. Try your
Still
best.
looking young as
I'm,
ever. Still out there doing your
I'm
thing.
glad, me glad you think so, but for all intent, I've never been one to hide my age. And this May, I'm going to be 60.
I'm 62 this year.
Yeah.
That's
We're in the
beautiful thing.
same age group. But you know what's alarming, Dreamy? There's so many young people in their 20s and 30s who are not as physically active as we are.
I know
They
that.
look older than we look. And what
I
do
know
them?
that.
They
I,
don't move around, they are not physically active. They sit down with a phone or them sit down with an iPad or them
and
sit the light.
playing games and things like that. Yep. Them not
So
go
they
out and play
walk.
the
They
game.
don't go play a game of football. They don't get up and pick up a ping pong and play some ping pong. Another name for that is table tennis. They don't swim. They just sit down and
The-
they looking like dumplings sooner
you know,
rather.
a friend about Ron Burke was saying to me is that in our days, to punish us, you keep us inside.
Exactly.
Today, you have to punish. You want to punish the kids them today?
You
Send them.
send them outside. Oh my lord.
Well, we
Amazing.
used to have so much fun growing up, playing marble, playing gig, hide and seek under the cellar. You know, they don't
I
enjoy
I
that.
used to, I used to be able to sleep a gig, man. I used to
You
make the
are.
yeah, man. I grew up with my cousin Errol, so I did the things with the boy them do, and just keep the gig and pick it up in your hand and have the gig
Right.
and
And spin
man,
it. You know. You could have done
and
that.
those marbles. Yeah, man. The
Okay.
mark, the horse eye. When you couldn't find marbles, you use horse eye. That
Right.
beam thing that grew in your
Right.
woodland. Yeah,
Right.
man.
Right. And you could have the hula hoop too.
What do you mean?
Can wind away, you see?
The hula hoop, man, but it was from the neck down to the hand, from your arms coming all the way
Mm-hmm.
down, man. Yeah,
Boy, I
man, the
love it.
hula hoop. That was a special kind of technique, that you can't do that thing. It is really not about winding the waist. It was about managing the muscles
And the
in
motions.
the body, and yes, it was a fantastic coordination technique.
That's true. That is true.
You,
You know,
you you take it from your neck, you bring it down, you take it onto your arm, you
uh,
bring it down, put it back over your head. It was fantastic.
I see some people do it on them foot too.
Yes, all over, all over,
It's
all over.
amazing. And, we have something to look back to when as we get older. As I said, more mature. Some people would say that we enjoyed our life. We played a lot. We respected people
Oh Lord, yes, and people's property,
and
people and
people's
people's.
property. Exactly. And people in turn showed us back that respect. And to today's kids nowadays, you try to instill that in your children and your grandchildren, and you're hopefully that they will benefit from it. But
Mm.
from what I see today, it's a
There's a different ethos, a different understanding of life. For example, I always say to people this thing like you have so many friends on Facebook. I say, what do you mean by friends?
yeah,
Yes, that's the term they use, but these are strangers, the people you don't know for the most part. So you have to be careful what you divulge. And some people, the technology is so instant and it's just ready. But the point is not every move you make, you must put it on there. You mustn't say, oh, I'm going out now to have dinner, or I'm now in halfway tree. What is that?
that Faye, I have the same thing I've said. People don't realize that the Facebook is not a secure site. It is monitored by every agency in the world. So anything you say on there is kept and can be used against you in any way.
Well, I I tell people, I tell the young people, I say, now you have the freedom of technology, but please remember that when you go and put certain things on Facebook and somebody is planning to hire you, many companies now go and check what's happening on your
Right.
Facebook account.
Exactly.
So if you decide to put certain kinds of pictures out
Pictures.
there, or
Exactly.
you say
Comments.
certain things,
Comments. Right.
you have to be very careful.
Yep.
And this is not only Facebook, it's all of these platforms. And Twitter, you tweet stuff. Something very funny happened last year. It was funny in a sense, but disappointing in another sense. Somebody had graduated from UA,
Hmm.
I knew, and they were overseas doing further studies, graduate studies, and they were commenting on something that had upset them. But the language that the person used and how they expressed themselves, I was appalled. Now, they did not remember or realize that I was one of the people following them. So I just quietly sent a direct message to the person to say, I am so disappointed in how you expressed yourself just now. So
Okay.
you have to be very careful
You have to be.
because you have the technology and the ease. Freedom comes with responsibility, and you have to remember anything that is out there in cyberspace remains there forever and a
Forever.
day.
Forever. Every email, every text is it's been.
You know what is amazing? When you think you have deleted something from your laptop,
It's not
it is
deleted.
still there.
It is still there.
They don't understand it.
I
They
know
don't
that.
understand.
Yep, that is true.
When you press that delete button and you think it's gone, it is there somewhere else. Make a go down the
And
computer
and
technician
even
come
if you
and you
enter
pick it up.
even if you enter the recycle bin, it is still there on the hard drive and somewhere else.
Yeah, that's right. Cyberspace.
you know,
Amazing.
your two friends, Neville Willoughby and Charles Hyatt. They usually come
Hmm.
up here with you for the Reggae Soca Music Awards, and boy, you guys used to have a fun time. We used to have a fun time.
Oh
Those
yeah.
two guys, I mean, really, I know you were close with them, and I know you miss them.
But Charlie and I go way back. But never through media. and communication, Charlie through media and communication, through JBC, and through theatre. So Charlie and I go way, way back, and also we have done so many things together, whether it was radio shows. There used to be a show that we used to host on a Sunday on JBC called Down My Way. I don't, Down Your My Way or Down Your Way. It just came back to me. I totally forgot about that
Okay.
thing. So he would go out in the field. I would be in studio or vice versa, but he was mainly out in the field. Then of course he was part of the JBC Department of Theatre, and there were plays that would do for radio and television. Leonie Forbes used to head the Department of Theatre when it was first set up. So those two people were very instrumental in my life. Leonie taught me when I was a student at the Jamaica School of Drama in 70, 71, thereabouts. But and then Charlie and I, when the Reggae Soca Awards first started, the very first one, it was Oliver Samuels and myself who
Right.
hosted it.
Mm.
But Oliver's schedule and that thing clashed, and so Charlie stepped in, and we did 12, I believe. It was either the 13th one that 13th one that we would have done, or was we had just done the 13th. I can't remember. That we were moving to when he exited this life. What was also good about the last one is that Winsome Charlton and her team had decided to honor Leonie Forbes, if you'll remember,
Yes, I
and
do.
Charlie and I are hosting the show, and Charlie did not know that they were going to honor him as
Him.
well.
Right.
So that was really very good that that was done before he passed on.
Right, right. The Charlie tournament. Who you talk about? Who you talk
He couldn't believe it.
about?
I get such delight out of making others happy, and especially people who have been my senior in the business,
Mhm.
whether it is in broadcasting or in theatre. But Charlie and before I lived here, where I used to live, and he would do it here too. He would just arrive at my house and go into my kitchen and decide that I'm cooking.
Just like that.
Yeah, that's the kind of friendship we had. And
Wow.
those days I used to do the early morning show for television. And so if I had to go to bed, beg your pardon, I'll say to him, hey Charlie, I'm going to the townhouse. I said going upstairs and lock up the house when you're leaving. I'm leaving downstairs watching TV.
All
Or
right.
you would come, yeah man. Or you'd come and say, your washing machine working and say, yeah, in charge. And throw in two load of clothes and sit down and watch TV or cook while.
I just saw it go. I just saw it go. I just saw it go. Just live good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Those were the days.
Boy, I'm telling you. And
Those were the days. Mm-hmm.
these people are just good people.
Mm. One day, Charlie and his wife, now his widow, Marjorie, went to visit Marjorie's mother in St. Anne. I mean, I don't know what them do, but it was raining, I believe. They came out of the car, it was a BMW, I think, and for some reason, locked the car with the engine running, with the key, the ignition, obviously, and,
Okay.
and him have to come back to Kingston that night to do him program on Power 106. Jesus. So I get a call, and the long and the short of it is that I think he got a ride in, and then he went straight to the station, did his program. The program finished at midnight. I went and picked him up, brought him here, him jump in the bed, sleep in the following morning, carry him. Oh, Jesus.
I have a
Yeah,
pic-
tales to tell.
I have a picture with Charlie, and it it was around 15 girls from the Miss Jamaica pageant, Miss
Yes.
Jamaica pageant one. Him said, Jimmy, come, I have to get this. And just hug up all of them, and
Yeah.
he
Do you,
hug up and bring them come.
do you know that there was a production done called Arawak Gold? It was done at the Ward Theatre. And Charlie would have been close to 70 at the time
Hmm.
when it was done, or at least mid 60s, maybe closer to 70. Yeah. Written by Carmen Tiplin and the late Ted Dwyer, Arawak Gold. A beautiful production, beautifully written, beautifully staged, wonderful costumes. And in that production, at near to 70, Charlie was doing cartwheels across the stage every night.
At 70.
Cartwheels.
Wow.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, he was a
You think
wonderful
he
person.
was easy?
Yeah.
No, man. Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
you easy. Boy, I'm telling you.
No,
But just so good to
people like
talk to you, chat with you, and see you, and people can actually see you.
you
And
too. How many people join you on your webcast?
We have several hundreds of people from all over the world, really, because we have people from Germany,
Yeah.
Sweden, you know, Canada, well, the United
Germany.
States. Yeah, yeah, from
Germany, so that let's tell them thanks for giving Jamaica that high five with a Volkswagen ad.
that's
Wow.
Jamaica.
I should perhaps say hi to Gentleman who is a DJ, right? The dancehall man from Germany. You know him, Gentleman. You know about
No,
him?
no, I don't know him. No,
What? When you come off the line, just go and Google Gentleman. He's this
Okay,
white guy from Germany who do Jamaican DJ and dancehall music.
okay, I forgot to check that out. I say
Wow.
I'm saying.
Gentleman.
Okay, I keep up with you, you
Yeah.
know. I
So you
cannot
have
keep up with you.
so, so, how do you get your audience to grow? How do you
Well,
let
what
your
we do,
broadcast be heard?
yeah, yes. What we do, well, what we do is that we do a lot of emailing out to people, and we really work spread the word by people who log on and tell other people,
Mm-hmm.
because this we're doing the Jamaica, we call it, you know, the True Blue Weekend coming up in March 16th. So
Mm-hmm.
it's
So you do this every Saturday?
yeah, I do this every Saturday. Yeah,
What time?
yeah, every Saturday I want to bring back the days we used to go to matinee at Carib Theatre, Regal, and things like that.
Me to go matinee at Carib for one time, the man is a big old doctor nor professor, and the man post me on the step of Carib Theatre. I don't know me to see me not see him. Every time I see him, no, he said to me, "Please say, don't say it in public." But if I've ever seen a show and I said, "That man over there, that
Of
doctor,
course,
that
yeah.
he posted me on the steps of Carib in the '60s." That man, and I'm always so embarrassed, but I find it so funny.
You know
That's
what? You want to bring back the memories of those times. We used to go to Uncle's Inn or Bruce's party afterwards, and you know,
Bruce is such a
remember
man.
all of that, eh?
You remember the first pizza place? You remember where it was?
Where was pizza?
It was on Halfway Tree Road, near to Charlton Exchange, the telephone company.
Okay.
Yes, I'm trying to remember its name, just the name just flew out of my head.
What year was
But
that?
what?
What year was that?
Hi man, in the '60s, me I talk about into the '70s.
Okay, 'cause I lived Jamaica '69. You know,
Oh, okay.
I lived Jamaica '69, so
I can,
I don't remember a pizza place there.
young man, there's a pizza place, first
Okay.
one, and then it wasn't called KFC, but the first soap KFC was
Mhm.
down at near to thing, right beside the theater, to
Okay.
theater, right beside State Theater.
Yeah, I remember State
Regal,
now. Yes.
not Regal, State.
State used to show
Tops. It
senior
was called Tops. That place was
top.
called Tops. Right. It was
Okay.
a KFC, right? But it wasn't called. It was called Tops. And then you have to remember Monty's Inn. You remember
Yes,
Monty's
I
Inn?
remember Montes in. Yes, yes.
Both Monty's Inn and this other one that was on Trafalgar Road called Trafalgar House, where the atrium, NCB, the atrium is now. You could drive in and then they would come and take your order, bring the order, and then clip the tray onto the window, onto the car.
Okay.
Yeah, man. And you could just sit in the car and have your whatever it is you had ordered.
All right. Well,
Trafalgar, where the atrium now is, NCB atrium, and Monty's Inn on Old Hope Road, near to the lights at Oxford Road and Old Hope Road.
wow. Bring back some nice memories, eh?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
And
This.
then there was a little church. When Old Hope Road goes up and it branches up onto Old Hope Road and then onto Lady Musgrave Road, that piece of land there was a church there called Bobbins Church. Bobbins. A matter of fact, they have a little plaque, not a plaque. There is you can't see it because the writing is so fine, but there is a monument there. Bobbins. A man had a church there called Bobbins.
Okay.
Ah, you talk about Bobbins. Do you remember Bagawire? The guy who's
Bagawaya. Yes.
something all kind of all this and all that. Bagawire, we used to call him.
Yeah, the old folks thing, though, boy. I used to bring back some memories, boy. Bagawaya, catch a fire, burn down electric.
And then somebody used to tell a story about how the coffin was moving up and down downtown,
Yes.
Mr. Brown and the coffin and song did make. Could you remember song did make about it?
Yes, I remember that too. I
Yeah,
remember that. I remember Mother White.
yes, Mother White Bridge on Spanish Town Road.
Right. That's where
Right.
too. Yeah, yes, yes, yes.
Mother White Bridge, I
Mother
think, was
White.
on Spanish Town Road.
On
If my
Spanish Town Road. Yes,
yeah,
on Spanish Town Road. Yeah.
those were the. And then when you go downtown now, and you go to Parade, at let me see now at South Parade was where the candy sellers used to be near to that big tree, and so you have the wangland, the pinda cake,
The
and for
stretcher?
those right, so those of you who don't know what pinda cake is, it's peanut cake with the peanuts
Peanut.
and the sugar.
Right.
Or pinda cake, the wangla, the mint ball, all of these people, and it's fantastic to watch people make candy.
Oh,
It's still an art to make up. People make candy. They say you
do
throw
they still do
candy
that?
because
Do they still do?
sugar just the Jamaica, there are few people, and the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission, they sometimes have, during the festival period, they sometimes have the people throwing the candy. It's actually thrown, the syrup thrown until it gets thicker onto a wall or onto a board that you set up. It's amazing to watch.
Yeah, I
Really.
remember stretcher. But Faye, do they still make stretcher there?
Yeah, but not to the extent that we used to. I make Bustamante backbone, but it's not tough like the one we did used to. When you get a Bustamante backbone in the 60s, got your true from now till to a hang,
Yeah,
hang.
yeah, I'm dented.
And then still have Jackal's corn.
Jackass Khan, okay.
There's a place at the Coconut Industry Board on Waterloo Avenue. They sell coconut water there, but they also sell things like grater cake and gizzarda and coconut drops and Jackal's corn and then things right there. So some
Okay.
things have been commercialized.
Mhm. Mhm.
But of course, at my stage and age, to nyam so much coconut drops and grater cake and eat a whole heap of sugar that's them.
You have to watch that. Yeah,
Mercy,
you can't.
oh mercy. But they're nice, man.
I'm gonna tell you.
And of course, tell me that you remember Asham. You
Of
remember
course, I
Asham?
remember Asham. Don't
Asham,
drink
of course,
too fast, or you choke.
when it choke you, Asham now I have to tell people is made from corn
Yes.
and roast corn, and then you grind it in a mill so it becomes powdery, and you add sugar and so on, and you put it in a little a paper that looks like funnel that we used to put thing in as well, peanuts, that kind of funnel. Now, if I as Dreamy say, if Asham choke your dog, nyam
Damn
your
your supper.
supper. Right? They usually have a remedy for Asham, you know. Them say if Asham choke you, you have to eat something.
Mm.
You have to eat that and stinking toe.
I think
Them
you
say if
do.
that and stinking toe,
Yeah,
low
I know
thinking
it.
toe choke, you have to eat hog mess. Them say, but they didn't put it quite as delicately as that.
But see, you remember roast corn,
What
roast
do you
corn.
mean?
I
Ship
but
sail fast. So many men. You remember that?
yes, yes,
Did you know that? That was with the roast corn grains. You take out, you shell off the grains, and the ship sail
chips,
fast. How many men? And
right.
the person you ask guess how many men, and if they guess too little, them have to give you the extra to make up. Oh man! So all when May and October come and it's rainy, you're inside your house with your corn, and play ship sail fast, and your coconut, your dry coconut, where you eat with the corn.
That's exactly what I want to
And
ask you, Faye, because up here, every time we have a Jamaican festival, them have the roast corn. Some ask them, what happened to the coconut? They said they never hear about that. I said, where did it come from? They said,
them
you cannot sell roast
coconut
corn
go with the
without
corn.
coconut.
Yeah, it's like how pear go with bulla.
Exactly. Exactly. What for educate them people, there, man?
Man, yes, man,
But
those are
those are
the
just
days.
great times, great times. Bring back some sweet memories. This is the type of memories I want to bring back on a Saturday. That's why, I want
Yes.
to do this and talk to
Well,
people.
if you're going to bring members on a Saturday back into focus, you have to talk about Saturday soup.
I,
Yes, sir.
I
And
have
I gotta say, you could go buy good to make soup,
That's what I'm
right?
cooking. That's what
But
I'm
there was
cooking
a
right now for you. I'm cooking some gungo peas soup.
yes, yeah. But when I came to Kingston, there was something I got introduced to as a child in the 60s when I came to Kingston that I didn't know about until I came to Kingston. Something called leggings. Did you know leggings?
Leggings, that's so familiar.
Leggings Leggings was when you go to market and you get a bundle with like two stalk of scallion, a half of a chocho, or a quarter of a chocho,
Yes, yes.
a carrot, a sprig of thyme, and a piece of turnip, and that's called leggings to make your soup.
Soup.
It was,
Soup.
yes,
You're
it
right.
was called leggings.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And I have it in a little bun, so the thyme, the scallion, a piece of chocho, maybe a carrot, some turnip, and so
Right.
on. And that was tied in a bundle and
Yeah,
called
right.
leggings, and maybe a
Remember
pepper
that?
also to use that soup.
I used to go Coronation Market with my mother.
Yeah, man.
And
I
then
went
right
to
on the
Cornish.
carrots coming up.
Aye, what I used to like when I go into a market, because I come from country, so I haven't been to Coronation. I went to Coronation, but I hadn't been in years. I went down there a few months ago. Very nice. The digital went in and had designed the place and put up street sign like breadfruit walk and all of that. Very nice.
Okay.
But in the market going to Jamaica, yeah man, that happened a few years ago. Digicel went and took it over and redesigned the place and really refurbished it. In the market you go to in Jamaica, though, especially when we were younger, what I used to like was to hear the things that used to be said or done in the market. When a man a come through them cart full of things, him don't say, excuse me please, him say, hot water, hot water, beef coming through, beef coming through. You saw him come through.
Yes.
He coming through with, excuse me please. Right?
Everybody
Mm?
shift.
Mm?
Everybody just shift.
Yeah, hot water, beef coming through. I'm telling you, that was something else.
And then
When I went to, go ahead.
no. And then you remember when like on a Saturday, we just see the fudge man come around. You know, not a body.
But
Buy your fudge.
yeah, they still have right. They still have
Yes,
for the ice cream man. So in some places, but what I experienced when I came to Kingston, it was a bread cart.
yeah, man. The bread
The
cart. Yeah,
bread
man.
cart that you drive with a horse pulling it and you
Right.
get your
And the
bread,
milk.
your
And the milk
purity
too.
bread if you
Right. Right.
and then the milk
Yes.
drop off in the milk bottle.
Yes.
Yeah, man, bread and milk.
Yes.
That would be delivered. The bread cart. Oh man.
I remember those days, man.
You're making me remember. You're making me remember, man.
Tell you, they don't
This.
have those things no more. You know, and
Well, no, no.
I
But we should
guess
have. You're just making me think. We should really have a museum with. We'd have pictures and articles about them. But we
and
should
some
really have a
a museum,
card.
right? Because so I know some people that have some artifacts, like like the old time ice cream bucket
Yeah,
and
yeah.
chimney and
Yeah,
all
may
those
have
things.
may have may have chimney, may have a 3 foot pot, may have my cold stove iron, may have my inner mail
Right.
mug. Yeah, man, may have those things.
Cocoa
But
maca stick.
yeah, man, I lick you the cucumaka take you switch part water, walk go pumpkin belly.
Tell you.
And then the Jamaican proverbs, Olu man I swear for Kalalu, but Kalalu I swear for run Olu man belly. You know? Eh? Look for push broke coconut na your eye.
Yeah.
Yeah. Monkey must know which part him a go put in tail before he order trousers.
All of them saying the
These
boy.
are powerful things.
Yes.
These when you really examine them and get to the root of what they are saying. Monks must know which part him are going to put in tail before and order trousers. You have to
Mm-hmm.
plan. You have to know where you're going to do before you get up and just jump off. You can't
Jump
stop
on it. Yep.
thinking that
Yep. Yep.
plan, you know.
Preserve our culture, man. We have to preserve it.
And then if Dreamy come visit me now, me want him left. Me just quietly go in the room, turn the broom upside down and sprinkle little salt on it and go back out and go on like no now. And them said that once you do that, the person soon after will get up and leave. You turn the
You want to
broom,
try
and just
that
turn the
too?
broom upside down and
You,
sprinkle little salt on it. Eh?
you want to try that?
I think as a child I must have. Because especially when people come visit your mother and you're gonna you want them left, especially if you're hungry. I was a mischievous child. We have come up a practical jokers. I still have that in my system. So
Then you're still mischievous.
yeah, man. Yeah, man.
That's how you
Mischievous
young
and
and stay young.
when I was younger, man, if I laugh after you, man, me laugh in the roll of wrong and all that stuff there.
You
Oh,
cry.
yeah, man. Well, my grandmother used to, when she laughs, she cry. And that's me. When I have a good laugh, my eyes run. I mean, I cry. But
Mm.
if I laugh after you, man, dog, me, I'm suffer.
Are you not afraid for laugh either?
No, sir. No. I think perhaps I what people may admire about me the most is that I am natural. I am myself.
That's the way to be.
I don't have any airs, and I wouldn't want to be that kind of person. Mark you, I can fit into any circumstance.
Exactly.
I can fit into any environment. But wherever I am, I believe. The fact that I am comfortable with who I am. I'm also very comfortable with my culture and my language.
Hmm.
So it doesn't matter where I am, I can get straight into my Jamaican. And what people need to understand, the Jamaican language, sometimes people believe that they must use it only when they're ready to trace somebody. When you listen
Hmm.
to somebody like Miss Lou or Rex Nettle, but only myself, we don't use the language to trace. We use the language. The Jamaican language is such a beautiful language. Why do we believe that we have to use it to trace?
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Mm.
But well, we have to teach we have to teach them everything, so
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
have to pass on our knowledge, because I believe in that. I pass my knowledge on to the younger ones, them,
Mhm.
and they adhere to it.
You're right about that because a lot of times people say things when they talk to young people and they say, "You don't know that?" And I normally say, "How are they to know if we didn't tell them? If
Exactly.
we didn't share it with them, how can they know?"
You have to teach them.
They can't.
Yeah, they
They
can.
can't, you know? They can't.
We have a lot to teach,
Yeah.
and they have a lot to learn.
A lot. A lot. Like when our anthem is being played wherever you are in the world, please stand still, you know?
Sometimes I
Stand still and protect them.
Faye, as you know, I do photography. I'm a photographer, and every time the anthem is played, I don't take any pictures, and I see,
No, and you're right.
right. So I see photographers doing that, and I said, why do you do that? They said, no, man, photographers can do that, man. They said, no, any anthem is playing, no matter which country, you come from the
Exactly.
country, you have to stand at attention.
You can take it right before it starts, but you really ought to, unless, of course, while the anthem is being played, you see the president drop on the ground,
Exactly. Well,
in that becomes a news moment and
right,
you go into your modus operandi. But
right.
it just is such a lack of respect by some people for people's anthems, whether it's Jamaican or whichever country, you're so right,
You have to, you have
And
to.
we must stop Jamaicans watching this, I beg you, please stop bad mouthing your country. And the other thing is, those of you who are criminally minded, may I beg or not do, stop, stop.
Mm,
We don't make guns in Jamaica. We don't make guns here. So may I beg you not send them come,
that's right.
please.
Yeah,
Oy,
we need a
oh,
lot of changes, and we hope we can get that done. Some way, some.
well, mhm,
Calm
there's a
down.
lot to it. There is a lot.
you
So
know.
here we are at the beginning of the second month of 2013. Can you believe it? That
Um,
we're at 2013?
yeah,
I remember
celebrating.
how when we were approaching the year 2000, everybody was up in arms. What's going to happen in the year 2000? Look at this now.
It's gone 13 years into it, eh? Well,
Oh, yes.
yeah. So you celebrated a reggae. Today is what? This month is reggae month in Jamaica.
Reggae month. This month is being observed as Reggae month, and there are a number of functions planned. I gather I didn't go because I taught till pretty late yesterday evening. I didn't leave university until after 6. But there was a drumming session in Emancipation Park, which is
Oh,
the park right opposite the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel yesterday evening. And there are a number of events planned there. Charles Campbell, who you made mention of earlier on, he and others are planning a gospel concert for Ash Wednesday in Emancipation Park as well. And then after the gospel part is finished, so they go into another segment of entertainment right at Emancipation Park. And as usual, there are many other things planned during Reggae Month. Many of them I either don't yet know of, or I have not been advised accordingly.
well, that's good that we have a month that we can recognize our music and our
Hmm.
culture. Just
Of course, it is the month in which Bob Marley was born because February 6th is Bob Marley's birth date.
it's also Derek Harriet's birthday, February 6th,
Yeah, yeah.
and Dennis
He's
Brown.
another one. He has been around from Wapping Philip, Derek Harriet.
I
Hi,
still look young, right?
telling you. From Southfish used to shingle roof. Derek has been around with
I'm
Derek
telling
Harriet
you.
at record store up in Twin Gates
Twin Gate.
Plaza.
Hmm.
Yeah, amazing. Simply amazing.
I'm telling you. I think Dennis Brown was yesterday. Dennis Brown's birthday was yesterday.
Yeah, I think so.
A lot of
Yeah, I
celebrations
think
going
so.
on for that.
Mhm. Mhm.
Well, Faye, thanks again for joining me.
It's been my pleasure. I don't know, do you get feedback on this, on your program?
Yeah, what I'm gonna do when I usually post them on YouTube,
Oh,
also.
cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, you can tell me when you're doing that.
Yes, man, will do. And really, it's from 20 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, you see? You see what you've done to me? Oh, my Lord.
You
You
can put
general?
you can turn on back your phone now.
Yes, yes, yes.
And
All right, but so what time do you sign off your webcasting?
we're gonna be showing the unsung story of Bobby Womack.
Oh, Bobby Womack.
Yeah,
Bobby Womack did a fabulous song called I have the LP, you know. I have a whole you remember I used to play music. I
yeah.
have a whole side of LPs. Bobby Womack is one of the, I can't remember the name of the song that I used to love. I mean, I would run and go and check the other room and show it to you. Hang on, go on talking. I'm going to look for it. I'm going to look for it. I'll bring it back and show it to you.
Oh boy, thanks to
So I
Faye.
hope I can find it easily. Bobby Womack, I haven't heard about Bobby Womack in a long time.
Yeah, that is fair. That's a gun for the Bobby Womack, which we will be showing in a few minutes. The unsung story of Bobby Womack. Uh, the Volkswagen ad again. As I said, Jamaicans have embraced it thoroughly, and for all those of the from CNN, no, that was CNN from the New York Times who said that it was racist. It's kind of blowing up in his face right now for a person who I don't think has ever been to Jamaica and know about Jamaican culture. It's coming right back at him. I haven't heard anything from him uh, regarding that, so I guess he's
Yeah,
gone.
there's so much. I have so many LPs. I don't know. I was doing some sorting out. I don't know what I may have done with it.
Can't
Um,
find it.
I don't know. There are just too many LPs. This is my favorite Jerry Butler LP. You can see it has done many days. It's Jerry Butler, Sweet for a Single Girl, man.
Oh yes.
He has this beautiful sound. It's called What a Pleasant Surprise. I used to play that so much. But I don't know what I've done with my Bobby Womack.
You still have your
Nothing.
turntable?
No, I need one. Listen, so the 3 degrees here, man, when 3 degrees was saying things.
Oh yes.
So the group called Champagne.
Champagne. Yeah,
Ah,
we showed the story on them couple.
and this one, Natalie Cole,
All right. Don't look
Sweet for
back.
a Single Girl. No, this was don't look back. I don't know what I've done with it. And of course, Mr. Peter Tosh, Bush Doctor. Lord have mercy. I'm going to have to look for that Bobby Womack thing. I have a best of Don Drummond here.
Oh, I can't forget Dundee, man.
Yeah, man. But it's funny you make me think about Bobby Womack.
Mm.
I don't know. I'm going to look for it. But let me not waste your time.
No, man. Mm-mm.
But
Okay,
thank you very much.
yes, we have to do this again sometime.
Yeah,
I will let you know
yes.
when you have the time.
All right.
All right, Faith. Thanks again.
Take care.
Enjoy.
Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you. Bye
Good
bye.
day. Bye.
Yes, yes. That was Faye Ellington live from Jamaica, which we started for 20 minutes, ended up being an hour. Okay, we're gonna go to the unsung. As we said, we're gonna show Bobby Womack an unsung.
Unsung, the story of Bobby Womack. Bobby Womack was the middle child of 5 boys, along with Friendly, Curtis, Harry, and Cecil, who grew up on the hard-scrabble east side of Cleveland, Ohio. Their father, Friendly Sr., was a steel worker and a church deacon who, along with their mother, preached togetherness through thick and thin.
My mom did not speak loud, but we knew that whatever she said was business because we had a problem with her, we had a problem with Dad. And Dad was like the Jackson's father. He was very strict.
My father started, that's the thing. Because he